President Joe Biden is not happy with Republican efforts to block his student debt relief plan.
I don't want to hear it from MAGA Republicans, officials who had hundreds of thousands of dollars of debts, even millions of dollars in pandemic relief loans forgiven, who now are attacking me for helping working class and middle class Americans. Marjorie Taylor Greene, she and her husband got $180,000 in business loans forgiven from the PPP program. She said it's completely unfair for us to forgive student loans for working and middle class Americans. Representative Vern Buchanan of Florida said our plan was reckless. Guess how much he got in that program forgiven? $2,300,000. This is not a joke. Can't make this stuff up. Ted Cruz, the great senator from Texas, he said it's for slackers, quote, slackers who don't deserve relief. Who in the hell do they think they are?
Ooh, look at that. Dark Brandon. Back. Making an appearance. This was on Friday, going after Republicans for hypocrisy. Now, of course, is that going to work? Well, not on Republicans. They don't actually care about hypocrisy. But hey, maybe it'll make some people think, oh, hey, it turns out if we actually want, things like this, we might want to go and vote. Saying, well, hey, look, the other thing about this is that I do like the strength. This is something, kind of harp on Democrats a lot for, is not being strong and defending your own policies. Well, there's Joe Biden defending his policy and calling it Republicans. Now, the thing is, I have an issue with calling them MAGA Republicans. Joe, they're just Republicans. That's it. They're all MAGA Republicans. They're just Republicans. And so, I know, small thing aside, all right. It is good, though, that he's actually defending his policy because it's a good policy. And of course, talking about how Republicans did take all this paycheck protection plan money, had it all forgiven. And by the way, in a lot of cases that we've seen, these companies will go and take that money and then fire workers anyway. So it actually did nothing. Didn't save any jobs. All right. Now, the same day, by the way, again, this happened on Friday, a federal appeals court put a temporary administrative hold on Biden's student loan forgiveness program. So basically keeping the government from actually canceling the loans, which was supposed to happen really soon, basically. Now, this was an emergency, as I said, administrative hold, and the court is considering a challenge to it. This is one of the many different challenges to the program, immediately launched by Republicans, because how dare we have anything even, somewhat nice? Because we can't have anything nice. This is, again, a recent challenge by 6 Republican states who had filed a lawsuit last month that had been dismissed on October 20th by a lower court judge who ruled that the plaintiffs did not have legal standing to bring the challenge. Separately, Supreme Court Justice Amy Coney Barrett on Thursday had denied an emergency bid by a group of Wisconsin taxpayers asking the court to block the program because, again, they didn't have standing. Nobody seems to have standing here. Really, really strange. See, if you're going to try to block a program on the basis that it's going to hurt you, you have to demonstrate how it's going to hurt you, and they don't have any demonstration. How is forgiving student loan debt going to hurt you? Oh, it's because I didn't get anything. I had to pay my loans. That doesn't mean you have standing. Doesn't mean you are harmed by this. It just means that you're being a salty bitch. You need to shut up. All right? There's a lot of people, by the way, who had paid off their loans, and they're perfectly happy about this. You know why? Because it's a whole thing of not wanting other people to suffer because you had in the past. As I was saying, oh, man, I can't believe, that these people, that I had to get polio, and that these people had a vaccine. No. They should have to be forced to spend time in an iron lung. Oh, are you insane? What's wrong with you? You shouldn't want other people to suffer. You shouldn't want to kick the ladder behind you. But again, a lot of these people, tend to want other people to suffer because they like it when other people suffer. It's a pathology. It's disgusting. So now, that said, after the ruling on Friday, the White House still encouraged borrowers to apply for relief despite the hold, so keep doing that. On Saturday, Education Secretary Miguel Cardona continued to encourage people who are eligible to apply through the online application. It takes like 5 minutes. In fact, here's what Cardona wrote in an op-ed on USA Today. Amid some Republicans trying every which way to block the Biden administration's debt relief program, the department is moving full speed ahead with preparations for the lawful implementation of our program so we can deliver relief to borrowers who need it the most. Already, 22 million people have provided the department with the necessary information. We need to review their eligibility for student debt relief. We encourage borrowers to continue to apply for debt relief. Biden administration, by the way, is also facing lawsuits from Arizona Attorney General Mark Brnovich and conservative groups such as the Job Creators Network Foundation and the Cato Institute, who seem to care so much about, students. Do they, though? Now, lawyers for the government also argue that Congress gave the Secretary of Education, Cardona, the power to discharge the debt in 2003 law known as the HEROES Act. And to be clear, yes, it does have that authority, despite the fact that not only did you have a lot of right-wingers, but you also had corporate Democrats that were saying the same thing. Oh, I don't know if Biden's got the authority. He doesn't have the authority. No, he has the authority. He can do that. He had the authority to block, to stop people from having to pay their student loans, to put a freeze on that, the interest. Yes, he also has the ability to do this. He could cancel all the loans if he wanted to. That's if he wanted to. But he does have the authority. So now, what I think Republicans are doing is they're either trying to delay this past the midterms so it doesn't give them a boost with younger voters, or more likely, I think they're trying to get Biden to give up. And the reason that I say that is because, well, Democrats kind of have a history of rolling over on some of these things when challenged by Republicans, or specifically challenged by the donors. And by the way, that said, I do think that this will go through, that we will get the student debt relief, because it's not full cancellation, for one. We're still going to have student loans. They're still going to have student loan asset-backed securities, which Wall Street is in love with. And there's still tons of student loans. Again, this is $20,000, up to $20,000 of relief that is targeted up to couples making $250,000 a year. And so, yes, the people that are hardest hit, they will have some debt relief. The average student loan debt is about $37,000. They'll still have some of that. But what's important is there will not be interest as long as you make your payments. So, hey, some of these people might actually be able to pay off their loans for once instead of continuously servicing interest. And that might actually help the student loan asset-backed securities market. Not entirely sure, but certainly it will help a lot of people pay off their loans. And yes, it will also still, since it is not full forgiveness, people will still have to work some crappy jobs to be able to pay off those loans, but they'll actually be able to, at some point, pay them off instead of having the interest. So, look, at the end of the day, Biden is going to still be able to call this a win, because it is a win.